Hello and welcome to Civic Leaders. I'm Bert Lowry, Market Intelligence Officer at Springbrook Software, an Excella company. Today we're talking with GFOA President and Burnsville, Minnesota City Manager Heather Johnston. Thanks for joining us, Heather, and congratulations on your recent entry into office. That leads me to our first question. What exactly does the President of the Government Finance Officers Association do?
Thank you. I'm very excited about having that opportunity. It's going to be a big challenge for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. The GFOA President really is the convener of the executive board of the GFOA, and that's the governing board for the national and international organization of the United States and Canada. And we have one employee, Jeff Essler, who is the executive director of the GFOA. And so we make sure that we're helping set the priorities. We do this strategic planning for the organization as a board. The president also does some outreach to the organizations, the state organizations in the United States and the provincial organizations in Canada to try and help spread the word about the different types of services that the GFOA provides and really what the latest and greatest things that the GFOA is working on.
As you settle into your role with the GFOA, what hurdles and pressing issues do you expect finance officers and their agencies to come up against in the near future?
There's a couple that I would mention. I think the one that's most looming is, we've talked a lot about sort of this silver tsunami. We have a lot of people who are retiring, and with that those retirements, there's a loss of knowledge. Along with that, we've got a new generation that we have to make sure that we are helping them understand the exciting opportunities that are available at government, especially at the local government level. And I think it's our challenge to be able to recruit and retain that newer generation, help them understand why what we do is so exciting and why they have so many different opportunities to be creative, to be innovative, and to really make an impact on their community.
For members of the GFOA and those considering joining, what are some underutilized yet valuable services that the GFOA offers to its members?
One of the things that we spend a lot of time on, and as you know, we've got 18,000 members, over 18,000 members in the United States and Canada. And we have different committees that work on accounting, budgeting, pensions, debt management, and capital and financial planning. And what we do is we prepare best practices. And we have best practices documents that if I were able to do anything, it would be to get everybody to make sure that they're reviewing those best practices documents and trying to make sure that they're bringing those best practices into their municipality so that they can figure out how to make their financial operations better. And a lot of people use those best practices already, but the more the merrier, if you will. I think it's really, they're great information and they're written in a way that is easy to understand if you're not an expert. A lot of smaller jurisdictions, for example, you may not have a pensions consultant or a debt consultant, and how do you even know where to start? And so those best practices that GFOA provides, that helps you get a great starting point. And you may not be able to do every little thing in the first year in those best practices, but if you just find a place to start, you'll be on the path toward financial resiliency.
Burnsville is currently in a strong financial position. How did you accomplish that? And how can other agencies do the same?
We are really proud of our financial position. We have AAA ratings from 2 of the 3 major rating agencies, 2 of the 4. And we have done that. It's been a lot of hard work over a number of years. And really, again, this is the leadership of the City Council. They have made that a priority. We've done 5-year financial planning, and that's just what we talk about in the budget process. We've also moved to some of our other funds to make sure that we're looking 5, 10, 15, 20 years out for our capital needs. And that really helps us understand what the challenges are that are coming up in the future so that we can start to plan for it. One example I think some folks have heard about is the emerald ash borer. It's this looming little bug that's going to come in and kill all of our trees. And it's slowly been moving from the East Coast over to the Midwest. And so what's happened for us is when that first started showing up in the news, we started putting away just a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. Now, when the bug showed up in a neighboring community, we in Burnsville were already have treatment underway for those types of trees, and had developed policies for how we were going to address it when it hit our borders. And so, but that means that we didn't have to all of a sudden say, we've got to find $10 million to cut down all the ash trees. We were able to very methodically and carefully, considering all the options and what the choices were. And if you plan ahead of time, you have a lot more options. If you don't plan, you only have one option most of the time. And so that's really the important thing for us, and how financial planning has helped us along the way.
Burnsville is regarded as a technology leader in the Twin Cities area. How did that come to be? And what accomplishments have you garnered through your hard work?
We have a tremendous IT staff, and our director, Tom Venables, has been great at coming up with ideas. I think if you go back even to 2005, the city of Burnsville decided to take on and start putting in fiber in its community. And the city council has also always challenged us to make sure that we are pushing the envelope and making sure that we're trying new things. And the great thing about that is that it's okay to fail. You have to be willing, especially in technology, to know that it might not work out just perfectly. Another example of that is the body cams. Our police were one of the first adopters in the country of body cams back in 2010. We started out with a group of folks who were really passionate about it and said, let's try this new technology. We learned an awful lot in the first couple of years about what to do, what not to do, and how to, finesse your policies to make sure that you're thinking of all the different things that you can. But really what we found through that process and through using technology, that we're able to provide services in a more effective way and more efficient way. And I mean, we recognize that you can't go back. Technology is everywhere. You have people out in the community, they expect you to be using technology. They expect for them to be able to get online, get their answers to their questions, to say, if I have an issue, I want to make sure I can report it online. I want to get my permit app online. You can't put your head in the sand.
With a full plate in front of you, what is the next opportunity, challenge, or project that you're ready to take on?
Other than the GFOA presidency that I think we've talked about a little bit, I'm really excited about that. Here at Burnsville, we have so many different challenges that I'm excited to work on. We're currently working on, we're almost a fully developed city, about 98% developed. And so we're working on a lot of really exciting redevelopment opportunities. And so I'm excited about those challenges that those provide. One of the innovative things that we did before that I forgot to mention was the water partnership. And so we have a really creative and innovative water partnership that we've worked on with a neighboring city and a local business. And so we are trying to work in that same area to make sure that we get some of that land developed as well.
Leading the way for local gov all across the nation. That was GFOA President and Burnsville, Minnesota City Manager Heather Johnston. I'm Bert Lowry with Springbrook Software and Excella Company. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Civic Leaders is a Springbrook Software Promnicast. Visit sprbrk.com for more. Syndication support is provided by emerging local government leaders. Visit elgl.org for more exclusive content. This series is produced and distributed by the Volsta Media Network. Be sure to check out other great shows, episodes, and more at volsta.com.